Welcome to January's monthly reading list. So these are all the books that I've read in the month of January. Now, I don't have actual copies with me of all the books I've read. I've been switching a lot of versions, so this is just a brief summary of some of the books that I've read. I have my list. You can also check my blog. My review blog, I do post a lot of books and movies in there, and also in the description below I'll also link my Goodreads account, because that's where you'll find out what I'm reading. At the end of the week I usually update how far I am into that book, which books I've finished, which ones I've reviewed, just on that side alone. So I started off this year with reading one of the Lucky Harbor series, which I will probably be doing a full review on that series over on my review channel, my review blog. I might actually do that as a video series because it is about 13-15 books. The one I read was Merry Christmas Baby on January 1st that I finished. It was a novella, so it was usually they're about 21-22 chapters. This one was roughly 6. It is by Jill Shlavis. This is actually the final book of the series. I haven't read the last trio yet, but I really did enjoy these characters, and it was bringing back characters I knew from the first trio. So this is how this series is broken down into. Then I finished on January 4th Born in Ice, which is part of the Born In series by Nora Roberts. This is the middle sister Brianna who owns the inn. So if you haven't read Born in Fire, you can read Born in Ice. There's about a 6-month gap between them, so that's up to you and what you want to do. But I really did enjoy this, and the light and love that it brought to the character. You learn more about Brianna and who she was, and why she kept her heart so guarded. So I really enjoyed that. Then I read another novella. This one was for the Sullivan Series, which there are 2 series that I find in this. Well, there might be more, but right now there's 2. There's the San Francisco Sullivans, which will also be a review, probably a video, much like Lucky Harbor. That's coming out eventually. That's coming out probably within the next couple of weeks. Hopefully I'll be able to get that. And then there's the Seattle version. And now this one, called One Perfect Night, is the bridge over. It's sort of the in-between of San Francisco and Seattle is where I found it. So it introduced the first 2 stories, which is Raph and Mia Sullivan. I also finished this on January 4th because it was another novella, so it was maybe 6 chapters. It wasn't that long, but it is an amazing series. If you haven't read anything by Bella Andre, you've got to check it out. She's an amazing writer. Then I finished Once in a Lifetime on January 5th, which was by Jill Shlavis, and this is a Lucky Harbor full novel. I really like this because the main character, no matter if she's not an alcoholic, she decided to make a list of amends, things she wanted, people she hurt in the past because of who she was, that she wanted to make up for. And I really enjoyed reading a character about that. You don't often see it. So it was something like, oh my god, this is wow. And that's how I really liked that character. Then I finished the Born In series, which I talked about before, on January 7th, which is also by Nora Roberts. The final series is, the final story, not the series, the final story is Born in Shame. And this is the story of the youngest sister who wasn't raised with her 2 older sisters. So she has got to bridge into this new life where she has a niece, a nephew. She doesn't know her dad. Her mom just died. And so she's learning a lot about a lot of these new things that she's like, what am I supposed to do? I don't understand this. Trying to grasp as an adult who you are when you've been misled for your entire life. Then I started the Emily series by Lucy Maud Montgomery, who wrote the Anne of Green Gables series. This is the Emily New Moon. This is the first one. I finished this on January 8th. This was very similar to the Anne of Green Gables with Anne Shirley, but Emily's a lot more. I find her a lot more realistic, not as imaginative as Anne, but still an all-in-all good read. I absolutely do love Lucy Maud Montgomery's writing. I've been a fan of Anne of Green Gables since I was really little, and I wanted to read Emily of New Moon, and that's actually the reason I got back into my e-readers, because I couldn't find a hard copy of this book, and I wanted to read it so bad. Then on to a Christmas present that actually does have a full review over on my review channel, so I'll link that down below. And that's The Lone Wolf, which is this book right here by Jodi Picoult. This was a Christmas present to me by my great aunt Kathy, who I thank very much. She's actually now has a whole series, have a whole bunch of books that she let me to read. So I finished this one on January 12th. And this is gives you a lot to think about. It makes you want to think a lot about having a living will, because that's what this story is about. Is not to give it a lot of it away, but the dad doesn't have one, and he has 2 children, and they have to decide what they're going to do. Who is he? Is there a chance he'll get better? Is there a chance that they should just let him go? And so you have these 2 young kids. The son is maybe in his 20s. The daughter's 17, and so she got to learn a lot, and so does he. And they got to figure out what is best. And the title Lone Wolf and the image of a wolf is because their dad is I want to call him a wolf anthropologist, because he studies the lives of wolves and how they interact with the pack. So he's like an anthropologist, but only in wolves. He sort of turned himself into a wolf to be accepted into the pack. So it's a really interesting story. You get to read about his life, and then the lives that he's affected, his kids, his ex-wife, his ex-wife's new husband. So that's a really good one. Then I read Shore Road Mystery, which I finished on January 23rd. Now, this is part of the Hardy Boy series. Now, my series, the current one I'm reading, doesn't have Facebook, Twitter. This is what it looks like. It's from, it was originally published in 1964. I don't know if you guys can see this, but these are where the ISBNs that are usually on the back of the book are. So this book belonged to my dad. The reason I got into it, it's Franklin W. Dixon. It is the 6th book in this Hardy Boy series. And this is something that I love reading when I don't want to get so caught up in technology. I mean, I do enjoy my e-reader. I'm a big fan of Facebook and all those, but to go back and to read one of those, it's like, oh my God, this is what they did before technology was everywhere. So I really enjoyed it. It gives you a good mystery. You don't know what's going to happen next. And no matter it's for young preteens was what we call them now, I still enjoy it, even as an adult. So that's that. Then I did the next book of Emily Climbs, and I finished that on the 29th of January, and that was also by Lucy Maud Montgomery. And this one is all about Emily being driven for what she wants in life. She wants to write. She wants to be just like her dad, who was a writer. But she has a choice. Does she give up writing and continue her education? Or her education, which if you read the first book, means so much to her. So where does she go? She has to choose at the end of the book. Is she going to go to New York, or is she going to stay here? It's all about her choosing the life she wants. And then the final book, which I finished on January 30th, was this book right here, which is The Timekeeper by Mitch Albom. And this is a really good book. Also, this book was lent to me by my Aunt Kathy when she figured out that I was a very avid reader, and that I really enjoyed the 5 People You Meet in Heaven, which that review is available on my review blog. So, like I said, I'll leave a link for that down below. This review will be out on March 7th at 8 o'clock over on my review channel. So I will link that down below. But this one really gives you a thing of, what is time? How do we measure it? How do we make sure that every minute is worth it to us? And that is just something that it really taught me a lot. I mean, it took 3 different people and how time intertwined them all. So, but then again, I do love Mitch Albom's writing. He is an amazing author. So I recommend that you read this one. But those are the 12 books that I managed to read in January. If you have any comments or questions about any of the books that I've listed, leave a comment down below. Also, if you have any recommendations of books that you think I'll like, also leave them in the comment down below. And due to the fact that this is coming up beginning of March, I'm really sorry. So, if you look forward to these series will usually be out February the 7th. Sorry, not February 7th. It's supposed to be out February 7th. So on the 7th of every following month, this past month's reading list will be up. So go and check those out. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.